gonna just be switching through batteries.
What's up, guys? It is Jessa and
me, Jesse.
Yeah, being a little creep. And today we're going to talk to you about starting seeds. And people get nervous or paranoid about starting seeds inside. And it's really nothing. Yeah, it used to be me. I remember, I don't know why I was so scared to start seeds. Like, I was like out there with all my stuff, watching a video, making sure I was doing it exactly right. And you don't need to be that worried. Starting seeds is really easy. And the reason you would want to start seeds rather than just going to the store and buying plants, why do you think that is?
Because it's just kind of like better that way because you're doing it yourself. It's almost like it feels more reassuring.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. You know exactly what you're getting because you did it.
Yeah, and like, you know, because what happens if that thing doesn't have a label?
Yep.
And they don't tell you. You're over here
guessing.
Oh, what is this?
But
it might die.
Sometimes you're guessing even when you do start your own seeds. But the biggest reason to start your own seeds is you have like far more options. Like, this is what I would like to get started today. Am I going to get it started today? Maybe not. But you have so many more options as far as varieties go when you start your own seeds. That is the main reason that I like to start my own seeds, is because there's so many more options. A lot of these seeds I've got from Baker Creek. We got some even at Walmart yesterday. I ordered some from M.I. Gardner, and I think I just ordered some from Haas Tools. There's tons of options. Check out, Jesse and I did a seed video. Yep. Check it out for some ideas.
Yeah, it has a very good beginning.
Yep. What's the other way you can get seeds?
From your own. Like, you can, you know, grab like just one usually has like 20,000.
Yeah, it's
like,
a lot
so
of
you can
seeds.
just grab like 20 out of there, and then like you grab them all out of there, really.
The next thing about starting seeds is, when do you start your seeds? So I already started my peppers. The best way to figure out when to start your seeds is to look at the back of the seed packet, and it will tell you exactly when to start your seeds. This is a Paul Robeson tomato, and it says start indoors 6 weeks before last frost. Jesse, when's the last frost?
A couple days ago.
He says a couple of days ago. You know how you'd figure out when the last frost date is?
Look it up on your phone.
Look it up on your phone. So, he's exactly right. Almanac.com is going to be a huge resource for you. So, I look at my packet. It says 6 weeks before last frost. So, I looked up my zip code on Google. When is the last frost for my zip code?
You'd have to look it up.
And it says April 26th. Well, I really suck at math. So I said, how many weeks is it until April 26th? Well, it's 8 weeks and 1 day from today until April 26th. So that's the last frost date. So I'm actually starting these a little bit early, 2 weeks early. But I'm okay with that because in general, all these seeds that I'd like to start are anywhere between 8 to 6 weeks. That's why I started my peppers, because they're usually closer to 12 weeks before the last frost date that you'd want to start them. So that's how you figure all that out. Almanac.com is a great resource. It's going to tell you, once you put in your zip code, it'll tell you when to start essentially all of your seeds indoors on what days. So go check that out. I write it out on my planner exactly when I want to start everything, and then I write down when I started it as well. Because the other thing on the back of this seed packet is the germination, 7 to 14 days. If 14 days have come and passed and I'm not seeing any seedlings in this, I know that I got a problem. So that's good information to have.
You know that you've been ripped off is what you know.
But in general, I've not had a lot of problems getting my seeds to germinate. Okay, so now you know, you have your seeds, you know when to start them.
Yep.
Now what do you need? What do you need to start seeds?
Well, you need water, fertilizer, preferably poop. You need, you need to be like spring or summer, but preferably spring. Start it because that's kind of like a rainy season and a kind of like sunny season. And you need.
Let me try. Dirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Water.
Yeah.
Seeds.
Okay.
And containers to put your seeds in. You don't actually need fertilizer just yet.
You don't need it
for most of your vegetables. Now, what I'm talking about today is going to be primarily vegetable seeds. I am starting to dabble in flowers, and that is a whole nother ballgame. So don't come to me for flower advice, because I don't have it. So those are the main things you need. Dirt, your seeds, water, and a container to start them in. You're also going to need some sort of light source, whether that be a grow light or a nice window that gets tons of light. Whatever is going to work best for you.
Yeah, because you can just, if you live close to like even a pet store, they have like that type of stuff for like lizards.
Yeah. So, other things that you might want to include in your seed starting adventure. I would recommend labels of some sort that can hold up to getting wet. These are just little ones that came with some kit that I've got. These you can get at Dollar Tree. It's 10 for $1. And then I think one of my Grow Starts had some as well. Grow Light I mentioned. I also have a heat mat that will heat up the soil and help kind of jumpstart your germination. You need is going to be your dirt. So what kind of dirt? Can't just go out in the yard and dig up dirt. It's dirt. What kind of dirt?
The kind with like those white pebbles.
Yep, it's got the little white pebbles looking things in it.
Yeah.
So you don't want to just go dig dirt out of the yard for your seed starting in most cases.
Yeah.
There are seeds that you're going to want to direct sow. So that's why you want to look at that seed packet.
Mm-hmm.
They do have specifically soil for seed starting.
Mm-hmm.
Seed starting soil mix.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that until 2 years ago. I would just grab whatever dirt was there in a bag. So I could have been using seed starting mix. I could have been using potting soil. I don't even know. I don't even know the difference. So don't get too...
You still don't? Or
I still don't know the difference.
do they both have white pebbles?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know. So don't get too worked up about your dirt. You just need dirt, and you need it to be moist. So that's why I want to check mine. I've got it in my tub over here.
See, white pebbles. Those white pebbles help, like, your plants and stuff. I forgot how. I just will explain that soon.
It helps
just make sure
retain moisture.
Yeah.
So this,
make sure it has white pebbles.
You can see kind of how damp this is. It kind of sticks together, and there's a little bit of water comes out of it when I give it a good squeeze. Now you could probably add some more dirt to that, or more water to that actually. But I kind of like it that, and then I dampen it down again after I get my seeds in it. I don't like it to be soaking wet. A lot of people do. It's not that big of a deal to me. So that's your dirt situation.
Yep, that's your dirt.
All right.
Make sure it has white stuff in it. Like, when you get it, make sure, like, if it has a picture, it has white stuff in it.
Okay, now let's talk about containers that you'd want to start your seeds in. So these are probably the most common. These are like peat pot or like natural fiber pots. These I got at Dollar Tree. It's 12 of them for $1.
No, I think
These I got at, no, I didn't even get these at Walmart. I got these at Orscheln's. These are the Jiffy pots.
Oh.
So those are pretty common. Another good way to reuse and recycle is people often start their seeds in egg cartons. So these are like the fiber egg cartons. These trays are pretty handy to have to contain all your pots. These are the paper pots. I've made a video about how to make these, so I'll make sure and include that somewhere up here. So that's one way to start them.
Yeah, because they're just made out of normal newspaper, right?
Yep. All right, and then this is kind of a seed starting kit here. So this is from Jiffy. You can get this at Walmart.
Yep.
So this is going to have the cells. All right. So these are all connected.
Mhm.
Then it's got this that you can even put over the top to help kind of contain the moisture. And then it looks like it even came with some, plant vitamins.
Yeah.
Not really necessary, but cool.
It will still help.
And then some little markers.
Yeah, because
Isn't that nifty?
like if you want to like start a beginning one, like just buy like 1 or 2 of those, and you'll
So
be
I've got those, and then hold on. You can entertain everybody.
Now, I don't know what you're going to go get, but I'm making these seed family really cool. I'm making those, which are very cool. You can find them, like, Andress is selling them. You can find them, and they are very cool, as I said.
Doing some promo there.
Yes.
And then these are Pro Hex Professional Seed Starting Tray. So I've never tried these. This is all one piece here. And we picked these up at Walmart. I think this is all they had left. So we're going to start the flowers in these. A lot of times, I've already used most of them, is I will save these cells as I buy plants and just reuse them. Some people say you should wash them. I never have. I've never had a problem, but there's that disclaimer just in case. So that's the containers and the dirt. What else? Water. I guess if you were really going to get into it, you could worry about your water. We're on a well, and that's just how I water. As everything's getting started, I use this to just spray them like that. Give them a few sprays to keep it damp. That's going to be important.
I'm damp now.
And you just kind of get like that. That'll get it going. Woo! We have so much to do. I'm almost like overwhelmed on where to start.
But don't get overwhelmed.
Don't get overwhelmed.
Because when that happens, you start freaking out, like when Andress was beginning.
Yeah, you don't want to be freaking out. I'm just overwhelmed because I have so many things that I want to get started. Let's start with tomatoes. My favorite.
Everybody's favorite.
I'm going to put you to work on filling with dirt. So you're the dirt man.
The cat's trying to climb up here.
She's silly.
Sorry, but it's very funny, and I want to record that.
All right, so let's start with dirt. Now these are going to be a little tricky, but this is what I'm going to do. We're just going to start, and we'll have a little dirt left over.
It's that simple, seriously.
In between, yeah. So we're going to fill these up, and then just kind of tap them down, because we don't want a bunch of air in there. But we don't want it so packed tight that the roots are struggling to develop either. So just put it in there.
And
we're going to have a little bit of waste, but that's okay.
Besides, it's dirt. You can, like...
Yeah, it won't
dirt
be
with little pebbles.
wasted forever. Tap them guys in there. And you want it almost to the top, but with just a little bit of space. Kind of like that one. But again, don't get too worked up about it.
Like, when you tap it down, like have it space?
Yep, when you get it tapped down, you want a little bit of space at the top.
Yeah, I'm working on this one. That's perfect, right?
Yep.
Because I still have a
so
smidge.
You can see that I'm not too concerned, right? Like, I wouldn't have my 11-year-old nephew doing this with me if I thought there was a lot of room for error. No offense, Jesse, but...
Oh, no taken.
If I was really, really worried, I probably wouldn't have Jesse doing it.
If she's really worried, she's doing it herself.
Yep.
Or having Dad do it.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm gonna give it my little rinse.
Yeah.
Duh. Don't knock it over.
I do not.
Bring it up on the thing. Oh my god. Very good. So as you can see, we've got all of our paper pots filled with soil. And now we need to determine what seeds we're going to start with first. So let's start with tomatoes. Now I'm kind of ballparking here because I have no idea really how many I want to do of each. Just kind of spitballing here. So get all my cherries. None of that. So this is how I determine how deep to go. So I take my pin without the thing sticking out. And I'm only going to do one per on these. Well, I think we could do two. 2 seeds. So we go a little hole down, just down right there in the nub. Okay? So that's why I kind of pack it in a little bit. Don't. Okay. That's why I pack it in. So go ahead and push in there.
1, hold that. 2, hold that.
How easy. Hold on. Let me. So that way you can kind of see the holes. They're a little more defined. Okay, so go ahead and do that. And you want to keep them kind of at opposite ends, because if they both start taking off, which they should, you're going to eventually be able to pull them apart. Now, I don't really like having to thin them out. I could plant several in here and then just cull off the seedlings that aren't quite as good, but oftentimes they'll all do fine. And so this way I can save them both. Okay, so while you're doing that, I am going to fill these guys up. So we kind of got a factory operation going here.
Oh, you mean my teacher?
Like teachers at factory?
Yeah, she is a very big multitasker.
Yep.
She has like a lot of us do multitasking.
I like multitasking. And again, Jesse's doing a task. I don't know how well he's doing it.
You have to read them.
Yeah, I can see that from here. But it's not that big a deal. Here, you want to do this part?
Trade.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to see how Jesse did.
Not very well.
Not great. But that's okay. Because these, we didn't clear off to the top. So it's going to be okay if I just drop the seeds and then put just a little bit of dirt over the top. This is not a showstopper by any means. This is just one way that you can kind of get your depth right. And again, it should say on the back of your seed packet how deep to go. So, sow seeds indoors 1/4 inch deep. Tomatoes are sensitive to freezing temperatures, so wait to transplant outdoors until the soil is warm. So, we know that. The other thing that I need to do, which is always a challenge, is remembering to label everything. And now I lost my labels. These big ones I'm going to try to save. Here we go. I got these little guys here that'll work really good for these. Now what I'd like to do is keep these in rows. That's what's nice about the cells, is you can put one marker in and that's going to designate all those cells. But you really want to keep track of what's what. That can kind of be a pain in the butt. What? Pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Alright, so what shall we start with? Let's start with good old Paul Robeson.
And how long is the summer again?
Our growing season is 157 days.
Yeah, we'll do fine.
Yep. So I'm going to get these out.
I also got used to it.
Give them a little tap. So these are pretty small. Not the smallest seeds by any means, but they're pretty small. So I'm going to pick them up just one at a time there.
Pop. Did I put a
Pop. Now, you don't want to get them too deep because they're going to struggle to get going, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest failures in seed starting, I think, is you plant them too deep and they don't get out in time, and that's when they die off. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 12 seeds right here. And I'm going to go with that for now until I kind of see where I'm at here. Take my little seed marker and this marker, which is not the best one. I don't know where my Sharpie is. But I'm going to write P robe. And I will hopefully remember what that means. And I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to cover these seedlings up just a little bit.
What happens if they're too tight, huh?
What's that?
Oh, what happens if they're too tight?
Well, you don't want them too tight, like hard packed in, like you're setting a post, because then your seed root is going to struggle. But that's why you do the seed starting mix, is because it's loose and fluffy, and it's a little easier for those seedlings to get started. So, label, cover the seeds. Now, the reason I put the label in is to help me keep track that there are seeds in there. Because sometimes I'll be planting along and go, oh, did I have seeds in there or not? So that's why I try to do it that way, to keep track of what I'm doing. I'm done. Okay, so I got these seeds in, and I'm going to show you up close here. Alright, so if you look very, very closely, you can see the seeds. So there's one right there, and one right there. And then these I've covered up. Okay? So I got a row. You can see the seed right there. And there's one there, and then one over there. And now I'm going to cover them up.
So what happens if it's too loose then?
It'll drain too fast. Alright, since this is a yellow tomato, in an effort to help me remember what I planted in case something happens to my labels, I'm going to use my yellow marker. Alright.
If you had a team before,
label, cover up my seeds. Okay, 2 rows down. So I'm going to take you a little bit.
Depends.
Thornburns terracotta. Okay, so there's all that one. Put these back in here.
I've been watching videos
and then label it. I'm gonna label this Thor TB. Quit being a butthead. I will edit you out so fast. Okay, do you want to start yours?
Do I want to?
Well, you got some of your stuff in here.
Ooh,
broccoli. Now, peas you don't start inside.
Oh. Can we start cauliflower inside? Yes, cauliflower.
Okay. Let me get you set up. Alright, so Jesse wants to start his cauliflower and broccoli. So, it says when to sow outside. When to start inside. Recommended 4 to 6 weeks before your average last frost date. Transplant 1 to 2 weeks before your average last frost date. We are going to, so these you only need to plant 1/8 of an inch deep, which is not going to be deep at all. So, here, these are yours. Over there.
Not deep.
Camera's pointed over there. So open them up very carefully so as not to lose any of your seeds. How many of these do you want?
I was thinking like doing like a row, like one of these per
one cell.
Yeah,
okay.
Like one group.
Okay.
Per one, like per kind.
Yep, that's kind of what I was thinking too. And I think, I think we can do 1 seed in each of these.
Oh yeah, that was.
And you don't have to go deep on them at all.
Like, do I have to just like sprinkle them or?
So this is how I would do it. I don't remember the last time I started these inside, honestly.
Never.
I think I did at one point. So this is what I'm going to do. Boop. Right there in the middle. You do the next ones. Here.
Like cauliflower?
This is cauliflower.
Okay, I'm making sure.
And then we'll get you a label.
Did you do one right here?
Yep.
Boop.
Put them right
you do
there.
bury them, right?
Yep. Just right now I was just kind of placing it and kind of giving it a little tap so it doesn't go anywhere.
Right there. Yep. And a little tap. Good deal. Okay, I'm going to put these guys away. Very carefully.
Ew, my butthole. And cut it. So I'll have 1, 2. I have 12 different kinds, including all these.
Yeah. Did you want... So this will give you...
What happened?
I just quit recording. Okay, so you will have, right now, you will have 6 heads of cauliflower. Now, is that what you want?
Actually...
Or do you want more?
I want more.
Okay.
I like cauliflower.
And some we can sell, too.
So, okay, I'll have 6, and then we could sell 6.
So you want to do another thing of them. Okay, well, I'll let you do that, and I'll start working on your label.
Okay.
We'll make 2 labels.
And so we have 1 extra one, so...
Oh, shoot, sorry. Alright, then you're going to do the same thing with your broccoli.
Broccoli! So, instead of all... I'll have... Okay, so then I'll have 1, 2... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'll have 6, and we'll sell a couple, and I'll get 50%.
Okay.
Every time I'm here, I will try to take care of them. Because I love these.
You gonna come here every day and water them?
No, every time I'm here. Believe me, if I was here every day, I would be the happiest kid alive. I'm holding on to him tight. Oh, dang it. One of these 2, or both of them, might not grow.
Okay.
Because I don't know if I forgot if I put one in.
Well, I always put another one in, if I'm not sure.
Okay.
That way you don't have an empty one. And you might have an extra, but to me, an extra is better than an empty. Okay, so I am done planting my tray, which is tomatoes, except for the very end here. These 4 are tomatillos, Rio Grande tomatillos. So I'm going to have my beautiful assistant go ahead and pick that up for me. For God's sakes, don't drop it. Our SD card died was full on the GoPro, so I'm on my very careful. There you go. Lock it in. Don't trip. Don't trip. There's a drill. There's all sorts of junk in the way. All right, and into the grow room. Gee, can you tell kids spent the night last night? All right, so this is the grow room. And go ahead and set it down right there.
Bloop.
Very carefully. We don't want a blooper reel of that. Oh my gosh. All right, so this is the mat. And I don't have a big one yet. I just have a little one. So I'm gonna have to get kind of creative here. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to buy another one. Too much junk, Jesse. All right, so until I get another heat mat, which should be soon, but a heat mat is not necessary. So don't get too worked up if you don't. I didn't have one for a long time. This room's a little cooler than the rest of the house, so that's why I like to have it, but it's absolutely not necessary for most people. If you're at room temperature, that's when your seeds are probably gonna germinate. All right, guys, so it's been a couple of weeks. Let me go get my planter. Alright guys, so it's been about 2 weeks since I started seeds with Jesse, and as you can see, they are doing very well. So some of the things you need to watch out for after you get your seeds planted is you want to make sure and keep that soil moist, because if that seed starts to emerge and it's not kept damp, it's not going to get a very good start or start at all. If you kill off if you don't water those very tiny seedlings, they're done for. So make sure you keep them moist, damp, so that they don't die off immediately. Now on the flip side of that is you don't want to overwater them, because then you start to get mold issues. I've done both. I've spaced them off and then they're dead, or I'm overeager and I water the heck of them. Just be aware, keep an eye on it. When they're super young, you're probably going to need to water them every day. Once they get their true leaves on them, and you'll know the true leaves. So these tiny little leaves, when they first start, those are just their seedling leaves. I don't know the real term, but they're just their baby leaves. And then you'll see they start to get more shaped leaves on them. And I'll see if I can find an example for you. But once they get their true leaves on, they're going to be just a little bit hardier and a little more forgiving. So as you can see, these are the tomatoes that I started a couple weeks ago. Now, none of these are true leaves. These are still just their seedling leaves. And I've got them under light. Now still, some of them haven't germinated. Certain varieties have not germinated yet. I haven't given up on them yet. You know, stranger things have happened, and some varieties might take a little longer than others. Now, with that being said, I'm going to give it a little time, and then I'll go back and look at my packets and see if I just need to give up and move on. Now, Jesse's seeds all did very well. If you recall, earlier in the video, he planted cabbage, broccoli. He was pretty pumped about that. Broccoli! And his germination rate has been really good. Hi, Belle. You gonna join us? Hi, Belle. Yeah, am I not paying enough attention to you? Yeah, who am I talking to in here? Okay, all right. So, Belle is insisting she gets attention. She doesn't usually get to come in this room because there's a lot of things that she can knock over. Can you get back? What's going on? What's going on? Thank you. Okay, so let me show you the other seeds. We've also got these right here, if you can see them. Melissa started several flowers. So these ones that are already popping up, those are sunflowers. So I'll show you what we got going so far. These right here that you see popped, those are all sunflowers. Now these down here, those are cherry tomatoes, and these haven't started yet. These are some peppers, And these are also some tomatoes. This whole bed here, those are all sunflowers. I'm not really sure what she planted here that hasn't popped yet, but we got more sunflowers. And then these are some different flowers that she started. These are my poor spotty peppers. These are the ones that I planted and the cats got into. So I knew there might be some damage. So I might have to restart some of my peppers. And this is Jesse's cabbage and broccoli. And then some eggplant there. Up here I've got some onions. This is my first time starting onions from seed. So if you have any advice, by all means, let me know. And then I'm still waiting for some germination here. So these are chives, 2 different kinds of chives. This hasn't germinated yet. That's eggplant. These are nasturtiums that are just popping. And then this is the lychee tomato that has not done anything. And I've heard it's really difficult to get it germinated. So I might be giving up on those. But that is all I've got for you guys for my seed starting advice. I hope you get something out of this video. I encourage you to give it a start. You don't have to start at this scale. This is probably the most seeds I've started, and I'm not done yet. I have a few more I want to start. Just start a couple, and if you're really worried about it, you can always buy your plants. You know, there's people like me out there that are going to have a lot of extra that will give away or sell to you. You know, you can buy seedlings, seed starts about anywhere these days. Walmart, grocery stores even have them. So don't worry too much. If you don't want to start your whole garden from seed, you certainly don't have to do that. So don't worry about it too much. But I encourage you to dabble in it. And if you have any questions, leave it below in the comments. I'll try my best to help you out. But I know there's other people that can help you as well. So I encourage you to get your hands dirty and get in there. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.